Hello, I'm Atujami and you're watching Hornbill TV. Welcome to a special edition of Hornbill TV. In an exclusive interview with this channel, leader of the Naga People's Front, Legislator Party and former Chief Minister of Nagaland T.R. Zeliang gave an insight into the meeting with Union Home Minister Amit Shah on December 23, 2021, where the Chief Minister of Nagaland and Deputy Chief Minister were also present. Zeliang revealed that the Union Home Minister Amit Shah apologized for his statements in Parliament in connection to the December 4 Mon incident. As told by Shah, his statement was purely based on the army report he received, Zeliang informed. The former Chief Minister also responded to few queries related to AFSPA and its correlation with the Naga political issue, while also shedding light on what happens next in regard to the law and order situation in Nagaland if AFSPA is repealed. Let's have a look at the details with our reporter Esther.
About your recent Delhi trip with the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister to meet Home Minister Amit Shah. So what was discussed exactly over there and what is the progress on that? What actually was discussed?
You see, our trip to Delhi on 23rd December 2021, that was at the invitation of the Home Minister Amit Shah. And the meeting was somehow successful, I should say. And we apprised him of the prevailing situation in Nagaland and the Northeast region as a whole. And we apprised him of the resolution adopted by Nagaland Legislative Assembly on 28th December 2021. The resolution stated that to repeal or remove AFSPA, we request him to take immediate step deemed necessary action, which is within the purview of the Home Minister. So we have discussed few points and he reacted to our call very sharply with positivity on few points that we have raised. So somehow we're satisfied with his reaction to our call. So number one, we have placed before him that Nagaland Legislative Assembly resolution, a copy was handed over to him. We also told him, as we understand that to repeal AFSPA or to remove AFSPA, it will require time because it requires collective decision, plus it has to go through both houses of the parliament. So that requires time. But we requested him to take immediate measure. One is not to extend this Disturbed Area Act in Nagaland beyond 30th December 2021. To this request, he assured us that a committee headed by Additional Secretary MHA, including the Chief Secretary and DGP Nagaland, and DG Assam Rifle and DG CRPF, a committee will be constituted. And this committee will examine the issue on ground reality. And they will be directed to submit their report within these 45 days. So that was a positive reply given by him. But till 45 days is over, or till they get the report from this committee, they cannot take any step at this point of time. That was the reply given by Home Minister. And secondly, we have discussed about this the commander of 21st paramilitary and Jawan involved in that incident on fort should be placed under suspension for fair conduct of investigation by the Army Court or by this SIT constituted by state government. So to this, he replied that immediate action will be taken on those officers or the Jawan directly involved in that incident, that they'll be placed under suspension. So we are yet to confirm how action has been taken by MHA. Number 3 point that we have discussed was, we also told him that the root cause of all this incident has taken place due to false report received from intelligent input or by any person. Such persons should be punished equally, because the army were misled by this false report. And then army report has misled the Home Minister to have made a statement in the parliament. So all these things has gone wrong because of this false report. That is what we believe. So we requested him that to establish the identity of those reporters who gave this false report. So he assured us that such action will be taken as and when the report is received from SIT or Army Court. That assurance was given by him. Those are the 3 points that outside the purview of this our joint press statement released by Honorable Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister, and myself. So these are the points we have discussed with the Home Minister, and he sharply reacted and positive reply was given to us.
To implement AFSPA further, extend AFSPA beyond December 30th, you had requested the delegation, but then it has gone again back to the district.
Yeah.
So was it a blatant slap across the face of Nagaland and this government, state government, by the center, by the Home Minister?
Actually, it is not a wise decision to extend this disturbed area act at this point of time. But since the Home Minister did not commit that this DAA, Disturbed Area Act, will not be extended, but he assured us that within 45 days, the committee will have to submit the report. So based on the committee report, lifting of this AFSPA or Disturbed Area Act in phased manner or to lift in total, that will be decided on receipt of the report from this committee headed by this Additional Secretary, MHA. So here we cannot totally blame him, but we have to wait for these 45 days, how they will submit the report. So since our Chief Secretary and DGP will be included in the committee, they have to apprise him. The recommendation of the state government should be relayed to them, so that the step can be taken by MHA to lift partially or to lift this AFSPA in total within Nagaland. We also apprise him that if you seal up the Indo-Myanmar border so that the banned organization cannot penetrate, so once you seal up the Indo-Myanmar border, then what is the point of imposing this AFSPA in the state? That question was raised to him. I think he has taken note of this issue also seriously. this was discussed in our core committee of parliamentary committee, that once the MHA or Government of India decide to lift this AFSPA, the state government will have to gear up our security, which not depend everything on the central forces or Assam Rifle. The state, we have sufficient security forces, IR or NAP. We have to deploy our forces and see that ceasefire ground rule is implemented in total. So if the state government can implement this ceasefire ground rule with all the different factions, they have to be confined to this designated camp, then there is no necessity to have this disturbed area egg or AFSPA in the state. So we have to show our ability also. So we have discussed with DGP and state security forces. They have to pull up their socks and start working out the strategy, how to implement this ceasefire ground rules.
Will the state government be able to take responsibility for restoring this normalcy and protecting the lives and the property possible as soon as AFSPA is repealed, or what is the groundwork involved?
Yeah, we have to rely on our security forces. They can do much better than other state security forces when they perform their duty outside the state. So why not we entrust them and leave the responsibility on them to implement such criteria laid down in the ceasefire ground rules. So I hope our security force also can perform better than others in case responsibility is placed on them. We are not shortage of security forces. We have sufficient forces for small state like us. Only thing is we have to streamline the system of implementation.
So in Parliament, as said earlier, when Amit Shah gave that report, false report, and that was because of the army report that had
False report, yeah.
false report. So, and many groups and organizations, and generally the public has requested him to take back what he had informed in Parliament. So, is there any reaction from him for this? Did the delegation that went from here with you and our Honorable CM?
No, yeah, he apologized openly that his statement, the statement made by him in the Parliament was based on army report. So as I said, army were misled by this false report that some cadres belongs to this NSNK are traveling in that particular vehicle. So based on that report, they have ambushed that vehicle. So army people were misled by this false report and found that there was no underground cadres among the victims. So this proved to say that it was false report which misled the army, and army report misled the MHA, Ministry of Home Affairs. So he made a statement in the House was purely based on the army report, not receiving any other report from the state government. So he also apologized for such a statement.
In regard to the ex gratia and the job promised to the victim's family, victim's kin, of certain unions, they have denied to take the money as well as the job, denied to take any thing from the government right now. So what is your take on that, sir? Will it speed up the process of also getting justice? Mainly that was their reason. But,
No, that is the contention of the people from that particular district, that is Konyak Union. But we have learned through some official source that they have already accepted the ex gratia granted by the state government and the center. We were informed that all of them have already received. But employment parts, the Home Minister clearly told us that within 1 week, collect all the particulars of the victim's family, the next of the kins, and then the appointment should be made within 1 week.
Within the week of the incident or within the week of your meeting?
Within a week of, with effect from our meeting, that is 23rd December 2021. They are collecting the particulars. I think the process must have been completed.
Sir, and now Shamator is brewing up to day 2 of agitation today. So what is your take on that? And shouldn't a place like Shamator and Mangkolamba, the subdivisions, major subdivisions have become a district themselves, then let's say Chumukedima?
No, as far as this Chumukedima is concerned, I think we have been struggling for few years about shifting of this Dimapur DC complex to Chumukedima as per notification issued by the state government. I think to resolve this issue or to settle the matter amicably, this government decision was a wise decision. But as far as placement of the villages or town area is concerned, I myself do not know whether I falls under Dimapur or under Chumukedima newly created district. So the boundary demarcation laid down by the state government, that I think the people should cooperate, because it is purely based on the convenience of the people and for the administration. So one should not take it to tribal line or party line or whatever they feel uncomfortable. But we should look at the convenience of the people for administration in both the district. So if we look at that angle, I think that there should not be any problem. For me, if I'm questioned by someone whether this Dagapatra area should be placed under Dimapur or Chumukedima, so to me, I'll prefer to go under Chumukedima because traffic congestion is less towards Chumukedima than to cross the entire Dimapur town. Yeah, so one has to think on that angle, convenience of the civilian and the administration.
How many villages as well and certain tribes, their villages, half is falling under Dimapur, half under Chumukedima. Of course, like you said, it's not on tribal lines or anything, but they are agitated that half of their tribesmen are in Chumukedima and half in Dimapur. So how will the government deal with such issues then?
No, as I said, we should not take it to tribal line or party line. But half of the village, if the village is divided into two parts, half in Dimapur or half in Chumukedima, I think that needs to be relooked. Half of the village should not be falls under one district, and another half should not fall in another district. In that case, there's administration plus implementation of schemes under RD, under this under the control of this PD, project director. It will be a problem. So if such cases are there, I think government should relook and streamline the better system, not to divide a ward in a town or village in town area.
With regard to Shamator subdivision, there was a gentleman's agreement during the by-election that between our chief minister and the people, the public, that if NDPP wins unopposed, it will become a district. So, and now that's why the agitation, and the president of the Yimkin Tribal Council also has resigned. All this is happening in the last few days. So what is your take on that? Shouldn't some action be taken now?
See, though we are part of this opposition-less government on Naga political issue, we are not involved in this commitment or in the discussion. So I have not much of comment on this because people say that it is commitment of the present government and committed by Chief Minister. They said so, but since I was not the witness in their conversation, I think I have no further comment on this. But if it is committed, they should be given. But we have come across that some internal problems are there within the proposed district. So government must be working out a formula to settle the matter amicably.
So 6 months since the parliamentary committee was set up for Naga peace talks. Now it was set up in June. So what is the progress now on the Naga peace talks? It seems like it has taken a little setback because of so many things happening in the state. But can we know a little bit about the progress and what is happening on that front?
Parliamentary committee comprised of 60 members, and the core committee comprised of 23 members are working hard how to find out a compromise formula between the government of India and the negotiating group, 7 NNPG, as well as NSNIM. But there is likelihood of deadlock between the two parties, that is the interlocutor and the Naga negotiating group, on the issue of flag. But in the month of October, Chief Minister and myself met the interlocutor, the AK Misra. We told him that you find out the maximum level of offer from Government of India, and then you come back and tell us, so that in what way we'll convince this NSNIM on the issue of flag. That we have conveyed to him. But thereafter, we are yet to meet again. So this time round, we had a meeting with the Home Minister and Hemanta Biswa Sharma. We requested both of them that try to work out a compromise formula and resolve Naga issue. If that is done, then the issue, the controversial issue of this AFSPA or Disturbed Area Act also can be closed down. Because once Naga political issue is resolved, then there is no necessity to have AFSPA in our state, because there will be no more underground. So that we have requested to him that this should be resolved at the earliest possible time. We were expecting that it will be a Christmas gift, 2021. But that now we have already crossed 2021. So we requested him that this should be hastened up and work out the compromise formula. And he assured us that in the first week of January 2022, that he will send AK Misra to meet us, so that he will explain to us about the latest position of the negotiation between the two parties. But we are yet to receive any information from this AK Misra. But commitment was given by Amit Shah that he would send AK Misra in first week of January. So
about another 2 or 3 more
yeah,
days.
today is 4.
Yes, sir.
So another 2-3 days more. Let us see. Oh.
So So the likelihood of AFSPA getting revoked from the state also very much depends on the Naga political issue. So if that is resolved, then AFSPA definitely can be revoked easier.
Yes, yes. Whether AFSPA is repealed or not, Nagaland will be free from AFSPA. Because to repeal AFSPA is the demand of now most of the state in Northeast region, including some section of people in the mainland. But as I said, there will be no necessity to discuss about AFSPA if our land becomes peaceful and if there is no more national group fighting with arms. So solution of Naga political issues should be in the front line so that everybody will be free from all kind of this situation, and our youth, our younger generation can move forward to compete with the rest of the world.
So, and lastly, one last question. What is the lifespan of the UDA government? And 2023 elections are, I would say, around the corner, even though we just What's the lifespan of the UDA government, and what is going to happen in the...
As I said, that opposition-led government, the concept of this opposition-led government was for Naga solution. Unless we come together and unless we come out with a common approach with government of India, it is difficult to come to a conclusion. So when I was chief minister also during 2014-15 to 17-18, we have had the opposition-led government. 60 members working together is quite different from having opposition and ruling. That is why we have agreed with the concept of this having opposition-led government, and we are working on it. Hopefully that before next election, Naga solution should take place. So that whether we have election or not, whether we have government or not, people should be free from all kind of this hatred and discontentment in our state to march forward with the development and progress. I think as MPF party, we are all out for solution. That is the reason that when we are in the government, we propose that in Nagaland, solution should take place before election. That is what we have resolved in the House also in 2017. So the same spirit is with MPF party. That's why we do not know the longevity of the UDA government, but as long as we both are together with the concept of this Naga solution to come about, we are always there for.
That's all we have for the exclusive interview. Keep watching Hornbill TV.